Okay, so let me try to answer some of these questions. I've got a bunch that are popping up. How do you deal with the smell of the fat burning cream? I know. The scalp cellulose gel, yeah, but that means it's working. You know, if it heats up, that's the gel I use to tighten your skin. It also helps with cellulite. Link in bio. Oh, Lynn, you're unable to join. I don't know why. Try from Amazing Meds. Can you try from that account? Yeah, because I did send Amazing Meds an invite also. I don't know why you're unable to join. That's weird. Okay. So back to what I was talking about hormones. So when you start to get all this belly fat, what can you do about it? Yes, number one is diet, but also it has to do with your estradiol dropping. So make sure you get your hormones checked. You can also click the plus sign on the camera. Oh, there it is. Okay, Lance, I sent you another one. Sent you another invite. So hopefully you can jump in. I'm waiting for my one. There she is.
Hi, there I am.
There you are. Awesome, awesome. I'm going to move my camera up a little bit because I always forget. I've got to adjust it a little bit more than I think so that my head don't get cut off. There we go. All right, so questions. If you have any questions, this is Lynn. She is one of our wellness practitioners from Amazing Meds. She's awesome. So Lynn, let's see if we have any questions about hormones, imbalances, anything like that. Let's see. I think there's a practice feature. Yeah, I know, Karen. We were going to try that, but it's okay. We got it. All right. GLP-1 dose not working. Suggest dosage timing. So what do you think, Lynn, on the GLP-1?
I'd have to know what she's currently taking and which GLP-1 she's taking.
Yeah, there's a lot more moving parts to it than just, what dosage do I need?
Right.
Lynn knows this. I'm not a huge fan of that peptide because it can take your muscle if you're not careful. Yeah, it can also make you sick. So it depends on your body on how, sensitive you are to it. What are your thoughts on the GLP-1?
So my thoughts are, I think that there's a greater incidence with semaglutide of nausea than there is with Tirzepatide. I have not seen patients really complain that much about the Tirzepatide. I think the doses are more easily tolerated. All the side effects are directly related to dosage. It is dose related. If you are muscle wasting, it's because you're not doing anything to build muscle. So I always encourage patients, listen, if you're going to be on a GLP-1, you've got to make sure you've got adequate protein sources. You've got to make sure that you're exercising and building your muscle. Otherwise, you will have muscle wasting. But it's not going to happen just from that. It's going to be from lack of doing the other things that you should be doing.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, how often should we get our hormones checked? I would say every 3 months, especially if you're transitioning from perimenopause to menopause. What are your thoughts, Lynn?
So my thoughts are, depending upon what you start off with your levels, and as I say to everyone that I speak to, it really is I'm the conductor and the patient is the orchestra, and so we're trying to get the string section to play nice with the horn section, and we want it all to sound well. And by that I mean you need to feel well. We're not trying to get you back to reproductive age levels, but we're trying to optimize your levels currently. So if it is not cost prohibitive, obviously within the first 3 months of starting a hormone regimen, that's ideal. If it's cost prohibitive, then you could certainly, as long as you're not having symptoms, as long as you're not feeling poorly, as long as we're going in the right direction, you can wait 6 months.
Right, exactly. And the symptoms of hormone imbalance are going to be things like hair loss, low libido, low energy, can't sleep at night, belly fat you've never had before, hard to lose weight even though you're doing all the things right, muscle loss, bloating, itching, dry skin, dry vajayjay, you name it, it's there, right?
Yeah, and just not feeling like yourself.
Yeah. We know, ladies, we know when there's something not right with our bodies. So you're going to start feeling that, and nobody gets to opt out of it. I hate to say, you're going to start feeling different, and you're from 35 to 40 is where it starts to change, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I think I have to say for some people, they're really lucky ones. They don't see it and don't really recognize it as anything until after 40. But I think most of us start to notice something around 40.
Yeah.
Like things just aren't, I just don't quite feel like I did 5 or 10 years ago. Yeah.
Where did my energy go? Energy levels are crucial. That, that is related to your natural testosterone, right?
Yeah.
So ladies, we have testosterone in our systems just like men do, just not as much. And when it starts to get low, there goes your energy. You get low libido, low energy, brain fog. It's kind of nature's fat burner too, because it speeds up your protein synthesis. So it really does help you with so many things, and then your muscle building as well. Okay, here's a question. Have you ever heard of progesterone causing your heart to race?
I have not. And the reason is because it's cardiac muscle. So cardiac muscle is very different than smooth muscle. And we know that progesterone relaxes smooth muscle, which is why you have a higher level of progesterone during pregnancy, because it's keeping everything calm, right? It's keeping the uterine muscle calm, because the uterus is really just a muscle. So I have not heard of that. Does that mean it can happen? Nope, it certainly could. I haven't experienced it. Everyone is different, and how everybody responds to hormones that are not, endogenous is very unique.
100% true. Everybody's going to be different, and everybody's levels are going to be a little bit different too. I may feel good with my testosterone around 100 to 125. You may feel like a bag of ass.
It is. So it's unique. Yeah, it's unique to everyone. Right.
Okay. Experience on low cortisol. Go ahead, Lynn.
Experience on low cortisol.
Low cortisol.
That's unusual. I have to say it's unusual. Yeah. Almost everyone that I talk to has high levels of cortisol because we live in a stress-filled environment. Yes. I have not heard of anyone having low cortisol levels, actually, at least not within recent. And I'm curious as to how that was diagnosed, I guess, because there are so many variables in terms of laboratory testing. If it's saliva, if it's blood, because our cortisol is diurnal. So if it was a blood test, I'm not necessarily sure I would put 100% stock in that.
Yeah, and by the way, if you want to get your hormones checked, look for a wellness practitioner like Lynn here. She does telemedicine anywhere in the U.S. If you go to my link in bio, and they can drop the link here too. Look for hormone testing and peptides, and they'll take care of you. Okay, do you have, this is a great question, and I've been getting this question a lot. Do you have to cycle progesterone, or can you take it the same dosage all month? I would say take it all the time. If you're low on it, I mean, you're just going to go like this if you're not.
It depends on if you are producing your own progesterone. So that's the caveat. So, and that's when we change doses. If you are still within your reproductive years and still having your menstrual cycle, then you're making your own progesterone. Right. So you may not necessarily need it. You may only need it in the last half of your cycle, meaning day 14 to day 28. You may not need it all the way through because you're having a cycle. If you're in menopause or perimenopause and you are flatlined with the progesterone, then I would say you want to kind of stay on the same dose.
Yeah. Good point. I know when I was about 42, that was when I needed to start taking it. I can't spit that out today. And I definitely felt a lot better. I slept a lot better. My hair stopped falling out. It was part of it. My thyroid was also a mess at the time. We got that sorted out because if you start losing hair, that can be thyroid as well. So many things. Okay, let me look for more questions. God, I hated semaglutide is not, I'm not a fan. I'm not. I tried it for 2 weeks just because my clients kept asking me, hey, Claire, what is this peptide? What does it do? And I'm like, I don't like talking about anything unless I've tried it myself. So all right, I'll take one for the team. Oh my God, Lynn, I was throwing up. It was horrible.
Yeah.
My body says, what is this crap that you just put in me here? And I lost a pound of muscle in 2 weeks. That was not good. And I eat. I was making sure I ate. I got my workouts in, and I still lost muscle. So I think if your body is sensitive at all, I wouldn't recommend it.
It's very it's one of those medications that I think we are under a great deal of scrutiny with prescribing it for a certain population, and because there's been so much adverse press recently about it, we are very careful and cautious about the doses that we prescribe and who we prescribe it to.
100% agree. Thank you. You are so welcome. Estrogen split dose, yay or nay for the cream? I'm not a fan of the creams. They don't work. They haven't worked for me, and they don't work for a lot of women. You can try it and see if it works for you. A lot of times they'll bump you up that much, like 10, 20 points if you're lucky. I found the pill worked better for me, but there may be extenuating circumstances. I'll let you go into that, Lynn, why the pill versus the cream.
Right. So we usually start with the cream, and the reason is because if you're taking an oral estrogen, especially over the age over the age of 50, and you have to metabolize it through liver metabolism. Your liver is where all your clotting mechanisms occur. So if we know that estrogen is something that can cause blood clots and can cause embolytic events, and which is the reason why we have contraindications for prescribing oral estrogens, and why if you are an acute or chronic migraine sufferer and you have aura with those migraines, you should never go on birth control pills because of that reason, because of the estrogen component, and because we know that it's pro-embolytic. So the same holds true for anyone in menopause or perimenopause. If we know that that's a time when you're more prone to cardiovascular events just because we're aging and our cholesterol maybe not be what it should be, and our triglycerides are elevated, or maybe we have a pre-existing elevated blood sugar or hemoglobin A1C. All of those things are pro-inflammatory. So we like to start with the cream first, only because if we get you where you want to be, meaning that you're feeling good and we don't have to worry about any of those other negatives, then that's a win-win for everyone.
Right.
If we can't get you to where you want to be, where you're feeling good, then we would look at an alternative such as an oral estrogen.
So basically, extenuating circumstances, if you're predisposed to things like migraines, blood clots, things like that. Got it.
Okay. Or if you're a smoker, things like that.
Got it. Can you build muscle without being on HRT? Well, let me tell you a little story. So when I was 42 and I first got my hormones checked, because my coach was like, you need to go get your hormones checked. And at the time I was like, huh, what, why? I didn't know it was a thing. By the way, I'm almost 53 now. And sure as shit, Lynn, I got my hormones checked and I was a big fat zero on my testosterone. I drained it all out. It was gone. And I wasn't making progress like everybody else. And that was why my coach wanted me to go. And I shit you not, within 3 weeks of getting my testosterone in me, muscle started showing up. So in answer to your question, who asked that? YAC, hey girl, I know who you are. Okay, in answer to your question, it is the wire in the body that controls your muscle building. So along with other things, your energy, your libido, what am I missing? Brain fog, things like that. So can you build muscle? Yeah, but it's not going to be where you want to go, in my opinion. What do you think, Lynn?
I think, again, it is very individual specific and body type specific. I think that there are people that can build muscle amazingly well and respond to very, very low doses of testosterone. And there are other people like myself. I am never going to have a tremendously athletic build. I have muscle mass because I work out all the time, but I'm never going to, it just isn't within my biometric to be that person. And I think that there are people that no matter how much they work out, no matter what their testosterone level is, if you want to be a bodybuilder, it's really going to take some considerable effort. And by that, I mean complete and total lifestyle change. It's not just about spending X number of hours in the gym or just about hormones or just about diet. It's everything.
That's what I had to do because my genetics, oh my God, frog pond. I mean, it's like all my relatives are smart asses and flat asses. So it took me a long time to build what I have. These tiny little shoulders that I have now took forever. So I'm not one that's built to have muscle at all. I'm very long and lean, and my appendages here, I got long ass monkey arms. Anyway, so yeah, it is individual as far as that goes. This crap can go on into your 60s. Absolutely, Karen, you're 100% right. How do we ignore
it? Can go on for 20 years or more.
Yeah, and it's not fun. How do we normalize your hormones? So you need to get them checked. What you need to do is get a hold of a wellness practitioner like Lynn here. She does telemedicine anywhere in the U.S. If you go to my link in bio, look at hormone testing and peptides, they will take care of you. And they do take insurance for the labs, by the way. So that's what you need to do. And it's super easy to get it done, too. So what's the process? You go into a LabCorp or a Quest near you. They draw your labs. They send it to Lynn. Lynn looks at it, makes an appointment with you, and goes over your labs and tells you what you need, don't need, so on and so forth. And then they mail you the meds. It's great. Then there's no waiting in the line at CVS or Walgreens, right? It's awesome. Okay, next question. Fire away. If you guys have any questions, please ask. I'm trying to catch up and make sure I get everybody's questions here.
So I see a question about estrogen and cancer survivors. So again, that would be very individual specific. If it was a breast cancer, ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, and it's hormone dependent and you have hormone estrogen receptors, then I would say no. It's one of those, the risk is not worth the reward. Because after all, what we want to do is survive and survive well, be healthy. So unless you had clearance from your HEMONC or your GYN, I wouldn't be the one to prescribe someone estrogen if they've had an estrogen dependent cancer.
Yeah, I know there's, again, extenuating circumstances for sure.
Right.
And it doesn't, HRT, bioidentical HRT does not cause cancer directly at all. As a matter of fact, my family all died of cancer. Every single one of them. My mom had breast cancer. I'm not worried about it because you know why? I'm more worried about alcohol. It has been linked to 7 different types of cancers, and every single one of my relatives, including my mom, passed of cancer. So I'm more worried about that than I would be the HRT, to be honest. Okay, should my primary care or testosterone check my testosterone or OBGYN? Neither, because when you go there, they're going to say, "Oh, honey, we don't do that here," or if they do test you, they're going to tell you you're within normal range. Yes. There's a big difference between normal normal and optimal range. It's kind of like when you have a knee problem. Who do you go to? An ortho, right? So you need a wellness practitioner for your hormones. And it's very important because they look at the numbers a little bit more in detail so that they know if you're in optimal range or not. So there's a big difference. Don't waste your money. You're going to come back to me later and go, you know, you were right. And then you just wasted a bunch of money and time. So yeah. Okay, let me see if I see any. Do you see any more questions? Let me show them. Monjaro saved my life. I never got sick. Haven't taken. Yeah, and some people can do that and they're fine with it. You know, I'm not one of those people. I'm very, very sensitive.
I see one asking, is it too late to start HRT? I would say no. It's not. As long as there is no pre-existing condition that would be, you know, exclusionary, it is certainly worth talking about.
Yeah, it's never too late. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 80. You want to do it? Do it. It'll help you. What you got to keep in mind with your estradiol is your collagen is produced from your estradiol. Let me say that again. Your collagen is produced from your estradiol. You can drink as much collagen as you want. It's not going to do a damn thing. It's got to come from the inside, right? So when your estradiol starts to drop in your 40s, that's why we get the face dump, because our collagen just goes kaput quick. So when you replace your estradiol, your skin looks so much better, your hair, everything. Okay, believe me on this. You can Google it if you want to. I can send you an article on this. It also causes belly fat when you're low on estradiol. Like I explained before, your estradiol is produced from your fat cells. So when you start to get low on estradiol, your body goes, oh crap, and it starts storing all this belly fat out of nowhere in an effort to produce more estradiol, and it doesn't work. So we end up with all this belly fat out of nowhere, right? Good times. All right. I had a PE being on birth control. My doctor said he doesn't want me on hormones. Gotcha. Okay, any more questions? Got that one. Definitely see it's not for everyone, especially semaglutide. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, semaglutide was the first one. I think the Tirzepatide is better now, but I still wouldn't do it. Can HRT help in menopause or only after checking to see if it's low? Yes, it can absolutely help. HRT will help you more than anything, more than the Manjaros of the world, because you got to get your body running right. Right now, if you're in menopause, your body's running on 5 cylinders, and we need it running on 8. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Your hormones are the wiring in the body that control absolutely everything, including your ability to lose fat more efficiently, keep hair in your head, keep your clear thinking, so many things. Let's see. Questions. There's one. I am 59 years old and losing weight, but want to lift. Menopause has been in my life for over 5 years. What about insurance? Yeah, they take insurance for the labs. You'll be hard pressed to find anybody that takes insurance for anything. And when it comes to menopause, it's a real pain. So yeah, if you want to get an appointment with Lynn, go to my link in bio. Look for hormone testing and peptides, and they'll take care of you. My GYN wouldn't check my hormones. Exactly. My OBGYN wouldn't check my hormones. She said everything would be low because of menopause.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This
So,
is why I don't want to go to an OBGYN or a GP.
because they're not going to treat it. They're looking at numbers that are very predictable once you're in menopause for a year. And so we know what they are. The only reason we check at baseline is so that when we recheck at 3 to 6 months, we know how far we've come.
Yes.
And if the treatment has been effective quantitatively.
Yes.
Because we are at this point, we're measuring quantitatively, meaning the numbers that we see, but we are also measuring, more importantly, qualitatively. And by that, I mean your quality of life.
Absolutely. And it does make a big difference with your quality of life. You'll feel like you're 25 again, not even kidding. Does the pellet cause weight gain? So anytime you introduce hormones, no matter what form it is, you're going to hold a little water temporarily. It's no big deal. It'll go away from anywhere from 3 to 6 to 8 weeks, depending on your body. My body, it took about 6 weeks for it to go away. And that's mostly the estradiol, I find,
Yes.
that causes that, not the other two. But it's temporary. And besides, water is I don't know why you guys worry about water weight. It is so protective. Having extra water in your body means your joints don't hurt, means your hair is better, your skin is better, your organs are fed well. Don't worry about the water weight. It's fine. It's protective. Let's see. But I'm not a fan of the pellet because you can't control it, right? Once they stick that pellet in your rear end, it starts to do its thing. And what if you get too much of something and you end up with a giant tarantula leg coming out of your chin? That's not fun.
Yeah, there's no way to titrate that. You have what they give you is what you have. You can't adjust it upward or downward once it's in, and that's 4 to 6 months.
Exactly. Thoughts on GLP-1 microdosing compound cream? I didn't know it came in a compound cream.
I didn't either. I know microdosing is something I have done for patients who are at their goal weight and just want to maintain it, and especially if they've had a hemoglobin A1C over 5.6 and have been able to lower it back down to the 5 range. So they want to maintain that. So I microdose frequently. That's not an uncommon thing, but we don't have a compound cream, so I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, that's new. I've never heard of that at all. I wouldn't imagine it would be as effective because our skin is so, protected, right? It's hard to get anything through it. That's why the creams, the estradiol cream and the testosterone cream did not work for me. I must have thick ass skin because my body was like, nope, that ain't gonna work. Sorry, you're gonna have to do the shot. What if estrogen is low, menopause and breast cancer survivor? So sorry to hear that. What do you do in that instance, or just deal with it? Lynn, I'm gonna let you take that.
Yeah, if you're a breast cancer survivor, depending upon the breast cancer itself, if it was an estrogen ER2 dependent breast cancer or progesterone dependent breast cancer, I would advise against it, only because the risks are not worth the benefit at that point. You can do, and this may be TMI, but if it is interpersonal relationship issue, meaning that intercourse is painful, vaginal estrogen is not systemically absorbed, or if it is, it's by 0.5%. It's such a tiny little amount that is absorbed systemically. It doesn't put you at an increased risk. So if it's intercourse that's painful, vaginal estrogen is certainly available and isn't contraindicated. And there are other options out there for all of the other awful symptoms of menopause, meaning vasomotor symptoms. But if it is an estrogen dependent breast cancer, then it is contraindicated.
Gotcha. What about testosterone and progesterone? If they are, like perimenopause or going into menopause, could they take those too?
It would depend on, honestly, I would have to get approval from their hemonc person, and clearance, because otherwise the risks are too great. As long as that they are okay with that, because testosterone can convert to estrogen. So we know that. So we don't want to increase the estrogen. And that's why when we see, sometimes men will be on testosterone, but yet their estradiol level is very high. Well, that's because they're converting the testosterone to estrogen. So then we have to do an estrogen blocker. And what would be the point of doing that if we're trying to give them?
Right. That makes sense. Does an endocrinologist do the same as a wellness doctor? No, not in my opinion.
No.
I've known many women that have had the same result. They're like, oh, you're within normal range. There's a big difference between normal and optimal range. This is why you need a wellness practitioner when you get your hormones checked. So look for one of those. Lynn does telemedicine anywhere in the US. If you want her info, go to my link in bio, scroll down and look for hormone testing and peptides, and they'll take care of you. They do telemedicine anywhere in the US. Can we use FSA or HSA for no insurance coverage? That's a question for them. I honestly can't answer that.
I don't know that either.
Yeah. I will cancel that collagen powder subscription. Yeah, if you're taking collagen, it's such a big molecule. I don't take it. You know what I take? Estradiol. Because your collagen is produced from your estradiol. So yeah, you can take all the collagen you want. When I used to train horses, my vet would say the same thing. You can give them that, but it's such a big molecule. By the time it goes through the digestive system, it is no longer recognizable. So it's the same thing for us humans. By the time it goes there, it's gone. So you just, it's produced from your estradiol. Okay, how do you get more estradiol into your body? So it's either a cream form or a pill form. Again, you got to get your hormones checked for that. It's a prescription. And you need to find the right practitioner. So you need a wellness practitioner. So when you have a knee problem, you go to an ortho, right? So when you have a hormone issue, you go to a wellness practitioner like Lynn here. Again, link in bio. Look for hormone testing if you want an appointment. As estrogen balances out, will it help to minimize and get rid of the belly fat dump? It'll help you from accumulating more, but you're going to have to, obviously get your nutrition in order. It's 80% diet. You can't spot reduce fat with exercises, nothing like that. So your estradiol and your hormone balance will help you tremendously from that standpoint. Lynn?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The balancing of the hormones is certainly going to help. It's going to give you the edge, but you're still going to have to do a little bit of work. You've got to watch it because, I had the conversation earlier today with another patient. It calories in and calories out. And when our hormones are out of balance, sadly, we tend to have more calories in because that driving mechanism is pushing us to eat more than it did when we were 35. And because our metabolism is not as optimal as it used to be. We're not burning as effectively as we used to. So
Yeah.
the way to combat it is to optimize your hormones and to move more.
Yes, that's 100% right. But why is our metabolism slowing down? Because we're losing muscle mass. We're not as active as we used to do. This is a great statistic. We lose like 8% of our muscle every decade over the age of 40 until we get to 70, and then it's like 15% or something horrible. This is why you see all grandma and grandpa and Biden and everybody walking around all hunched over and falling down a lot. Don't nobody want to get like that. That is what we call sarcopenia. It happens to all of us. Nobody opts out of it unless you lift weights, get enough protein, and then get on HRT to prevent this from happening, because this can absolutely, y'all see my husband, he's 71 and built like a brick shit house because he lifts, he takes his TRT, and he eats right. Yeah, it can be combated. My daughter is 34 and has a lot of what you explained. Can it happen? Yes. And the reason it happens this early is because of the foods we eat, right? I'm not even gonna go there. I was gonna say maha, but they're messing with our foods, and it really does affect the hormones. It really does. So that we're seeing this early and earlier in age. For example, my own niece is 25. We had her hormones checked. Her freaking testosterone was a 6. A 6 at 25. Can you believe that? Ridiculous. So she's already on, hormone replacement. So yeah, it can absolutely happen when you're younger. I remember Suzanne Summers being a huge proponent of natural hormones, and my husband and I take testosterone to help him feel better. 100%. Yes. Yeah, Suzanne Summers was it. Is she still alive? I don't know if she's still alive or not. Smart woman. Is she passed? Yeah, I thought I remembered hearing about that, but it's good to know because I feel like a maintenance microdose A1C is down. Yeah. And ladies, make sure you get your and men too, get your A1C tested. This is what tells you if you're insulin resistant or not, or close to it. I'm lucky. Mine's been hovering around 5.3. It's hanging in there. It's not great, but it's not awful. Okay. Literally just got my first estradiol injection yesterday. It's easier on the liver than pill form. Oh, so yes, you can do estradiol in an injection form. What is your thoughts on that one?
Yes, you can. It's not something that I prescribe frequently, only because most patients don't want to do injections any more than they have to. So a cream is the least invasive way to go. It's not the first line in terms of ordering for a patient.
Yeah, and that needle's tiny. It's no bigger than a bee's ass. Don't be scared. Right. I'm like constantly, what's that pincushion? That would be me. Let's see. That's what I was told. Triple positive breast cancer survivor here. Yeah, so probably not in the cards for you.
Sorry.
Oh boy, I'm sorry. That sucks.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you want to stay alive too, so there's that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I feel behind. My mom passed to cancer, and it's rough. So I'm glad you're a survivor. Is there insurance coverage for these services? Yeah, so Amazing Meds takes insurance for the labs. If you go to my link in bio, scroll down, look for hormone testing and peptides, and they will take care of you.
So I just see a message from Amazing Meds support. Yes, on the HSA and FSA. So,
okay, perfect. This is great info. I hope I can watch this again. Yeah, I will post this when we're done. What do you think about putting estrogen cream on your face and collagen? Hey, if it absorbs into the skin.
Yes. Actually, I have prescribed it for patients for face.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. How do I find a practitioner from this call? So Zumba, what you want to do is go to my link in bio. And can you put the link again? Amazing support, that would be great. Just look for the link in the comments. But you can also go to my link in bio, scroll down, look for hormone testing and peptides. And by the way, a few months ago, I don't know if you guys know this or not, I started a $10 a month group coaching subscription. Come on over, you guys, because I've got full workouts there. I can help you with your macros, calories, advise you on what to do, like we're talking now about your hormones. I can read labs, all the good things. So sign up, $10 a month. You cannot beat it. If you are struggling to get fit, no matter how old you are, but especially if you're older, I'm almost 53, let me help you. To sign up for that, go to my page, look to the right above highlights, and their sign up is there. Now, if it tells you there's a wait list, come back to me. There's a way around that. Okay, question. Claire's website link, bio and schedule, contact link. Yeah, exactly. Okay, questions. I take a pea-sized gel of testosterone and 3 pumps of estrogen. Yeah, again, I'm not a fan of those. They didn't work for me at all. Literally, it took me like up 10 points, and that's it. I needed to go up 100 points. So, it's all in how you feel. If you feel okay, if the symptoms are still there, you need to try another route.
Right.
Okay, didn't hurt at all. Exactly. Yeah, they're just tiny little shots. Literally, the needle's like this big. It's tiny. Thoughts on Troche versus injection? Okay, this is testosterone. I'm not a fan of the Troche testosterone form either, because I just feel like it doesn't work nearly as well as the injection. But there you go. What are your thoughts, Lynn?
I would agree. I think the most effective route is injectable testosterone for those people who are not afraid of injections.
Yeah, exactly. What about growth hormone? Okay, so good pros and cons to growth hormone. True HGH, number one, is expensive and hard to find. If you can get it prescribed, it's going to be very expensive. It can shut down your own growth hormones. You got to be careful with that. I actually like the peptides better. Ipamorelin CJC is coming back online now, thank baby Jesus, because the FDA tried to take it away because Big Pharma wants a piece of it. So don't get me freaking started. But if you're interested in the peptides, send me a DM and I'll direct you on which ones are great. And they stimulate your own HGH, so you're not, putting a foreign, HGH in there.
That's what they do. Right. They work on your pituitary to stimulate your own production.
Yeah.
A growth hormone. To get a prescription for human growth hormone is rigorous. You have to meet certain very strict criteria for us to be able to prescribe it for you.
Yeah, and it's like $1,000 or so, $1,400. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I love the peptides. Me too. So what are the peptides? Peptides are chains of amino acids. Get it out here. I'm a little sick today. If you notice, my voice is a little off. That we already have in our bodies, but as we get older, they start to diminish, right? And there's like 1 million of them, like probably over that, way more than that, that they've discovered. There's healing peptides. There's peptides that help you lose fat, like tesofensine and 5-aminos. Send me a DM if you're interested in those, and I can kind of go over what each one of these do. I have made videos on this before, but I love the peptides. Whereas your hormones are totally different entity, right? But the hormones also, they start to diminish over the age of 40. So you want to get your hormones checked, be optimal, get on HRT, find yourself a wellness practitioner like Lynn here. She does telemedicine anywhere in the US. If you need her info, go to my link in bio, look for hormone testing and peptides, and they will take care of you there. Do you guys have any more questions? Because we're about to wrap up this live. Any more, going once, going twice. Lynn, it's been a pleasure having you on board today.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you all for joining us. I appreciate all your questions tremendously.
Yeah.
Be well.
You bet. Yeah, you guys DM me if you need any more information. I'm happy to help. And also, if you haven't picked up my books yet, Fluffy to Fit Cookbook and Fluffy to Fit, they will help you. Link in bio. Go read the reviews. Don't take my word for it. They make great Christmas gifts, too. Great live. Thank you. You are so welcome. Lynn, thank you, and I will see you next time.
You're welcome. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Bye now.